Here we go. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Positive Crunch YouTube channel. We appreciate you stopping by, as always. If you're new here, please consider hitting the subscribe button. If you enjoy this kind of content, which this is a little different than what we typically do, hit that like button. Okay, let's get to this. Today's topic, the Rock and Roll
Hall of Shame.
Well, here we are, folks. It's 2021. We made it through the crazy 2020 year, only to wonder what shenanigans we'll see from that organization. Yes, I am wearing my Iron Maiden shirt tonight because I support the boys. And we're going to get into Iron Maiden here very shortly. But let's go over a few things here. First, let me grab my paper and we'll go over everybody who is on the list this year. The New York Dolls, Jay-Z, Rage Against the Machine, Kate Bush, Fela Kuti, Mary J. Blige, Carole King, The Foo Fighters, Todd Rundgren, Iron Maiden, Dionne Warwick, LL Cool J, again, Devo, Chaka Khan, The Go-Go's, and Tina Turner. Okay, well, there are several of these people who are already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Shame for either songwriting or whatever it may be, individual works or other combos. But that's not what I'm here to complain about. Every year, it seems like this crazy sham of an organization always gets it wrong. Well, this year, I'm sitting at my office, taking a break, and Rolling Stone magazine article pops up, and it leads out with Jay-Z. Well, I'll put the article up here, but Jay-Z, the Foo Fighters, I think Iron Maiden, and Tina Turner lead the way, or lead the votes, or whatever. You'll see it. Anyway, they started out with Jay-Z. All right, look. This drives me crazy. This drives me crazy when they put rappers and like weird genres of music in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or even as a nominee. I mean, come on, man. Anyway, we all know how this works, and I got a few things here on the paper that I checked out. I was looking at the Rock Hall fan vote, and this is how it stacks up. Number 16, Kate Bush. Now, this is the votes that fans are doing right now. The New York Dolls, 15th place. LL Cool J, 14th place. Guys, it's time to take him off the list. He's not rock and roll. Jesus. Anyway, Jay-Z, number 13. Number 12, Mary J. Blige. Number 11, Chaka Khan. Number 10, Dionne Warwick. Number 9, Todd Rundgren. Are you kidding me? Anyway, number 8, Devo. Number 7, Rage Against the Machine. Number 6, The Go-Go's. Number 5, Fela Kuti. I like funk, don't get me wrong, but come on. I'm just irritated. Number 4, Carole King. I respect Carole King, but come on. She's already in as a songwriter, and that's pretty much what she was. And number 3, Iron Maiden. Number 2, the Foo Fighters. And number 1, Tina Turner. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. The first thing I want to do is we're going to talk about just a couple of the things that irritate me here. And on this list, of course, is you got Jay-Z, you got Kate Bush, you got Mary J. Blige, you got Carole King, you got Dionne Warwick, LL Cool J, Chaka Khan, and Jay-Z, I guess I said. Look, they're all respected artists. They're all artists that we all probably love. I mean, I have, you know, I love a lot of this. And Fela Kuti. But here's the thing is, I respect the songwriters and I respect the other artists in their genre. But why in God's name do you even call this place the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Because, I mean, you should have done it like Joe Chambers did in Nashville. He's got the Musicians Hall of Fame. It can cover anything. Now, granted, you got to be a musician, but he did this right. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's always been really a joke, and thus I always call it the Rock and Roll Hall of Shame, which many people do. I don't know if you agree with me or not. Maybe you love the way that they mix it up and add, non-rock and roll acts to it. I'm sorry, I'm venting. I'm really irritated with this. And one, because as far as first time on, as a nominee, you have the Foo Fighters, you have Iron Maiden, and technically Tina Turner, even though she's... Anyway, here's my thing. Iron Maiden. Yes, I'm going to support Iron Maiden till the day I die. I don't care who likes that or not. I just don't. Because these guys, little to no airplay whatsoever. And yet, they sell out around the world. Time after time after time after time. They put out epic music, epic classics. They stay true to rock and roll and metal, So, and two, what I do like is if they are inducted in, you get the current lineup of Dave and Adrian and Nico and Steve and Bruce, Yannick, and then you got Paul Diano, Clive Burr, and Dennis Stratton. That's pretty cool. All epic performers, all very vital key members to Iron Maiden. So here's what irritates me. When you have, and even if it's for the sake of diversity, stop it with this. It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Let's put rock and roll people in there. Let's not just do something just to fit in with whatever of the day. Now, granted, we don't get political and we try not to, and we don't do religion here on this channel. We like to stay neutral, but this one really just digs deep into my side. Anyway, I'm going to make this quick. When you have bands like Boston and Judas Priest and MC5, Thin Lizzy, Mott the Hoople, people like Peter Frampton, they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Are you kidding? Frampton Comes Live, literally, like when this album come out, everybody who was born in that year literally got handed, congratulations on your baby. Here's Frampton Comes Live. Everybody went to their mailbox. They had a copy of Frampton Comes Live. It was that big of an album, and he's that epic of an icon from that period of time. And yet, anyway, Thin Lizzy, oh my God, are you kidding me? And there's so many people like that have been snubbed year and year and year and year and year after year. So, here's my top 5. Out of this list, here are my 5, and this is the order I put them in. Number 5, Tina Turner. I don't know that there's another lady out there outside of probably like Florida Jansen from Nightwish that commands a stage. And Tina Turner, she commanded a stage, and she could rock with the best of them. I love Tina Turner. She's an epic icon. She deserves that honor. New York Dolls. Man, we're talking about literally the groundwork, the dirt under the foundation band that was in that small little group. They formed in 1971 and boom, exploded a whole genre called punk. I mean, they literally laid the way with a few other bands. And yet, here we are. Let's put Jay-Z in. Let's put Kate Bush in. I mean, come on. Anyway, nothing against the other ones, but these are my top 5. Foo Fighters. I have the biggest respect for Dave Grohl. if I think of American rock and roll music, I think the Foo Fighters may have literally been the last real true rock and roll band from the States. Because everything else has just been a little iffy. I mean, it's just went. But Dave loves the music, and you got people like Taylor Hawkins and so on and so on and so on. And this band is just, they're awesome. And when you get to watch some of their live stuff, like on YouTube and everything, or you get to go see them in concert, I mean, you never know who's going to walk out on stage with these guys. I mean, they've played with everybody, and I'm talking legends, and it doesn't, they appreciate the music. So, number 5, Tina Turner. Number 4, the New York Dolls. Number 3, the Foo Fighters. Number 2, Todd Rundgren. For God's sake, the Cars, man. Come on. This dude's produced. He's written. He's like he can play anything. This guy is like, how is he not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? God, this drives me crazy. Anyway, and of course, number 1, my pick, the guys here, their first year. Anyway, right here, this should be the number 1 band rolling into the Hall of Fame. Absolutely, 100%. Now look, you don't have to agree with me. This is just my list and what I think. All the other ones, pretty much you can just throw out in the garbage. There are a couple, I mean, Devo was big, but I mean, I don't know. A couple songs here and there. Who else we got on the list here? The Go-Go's. I mean, they wrote all their music and then spawned off like, Belinda Carlisle and stuff. And they deserve to be in there, I believe. I think they're probably one of the coolest groups from that 80s and, that era that they had all the hits. And again, I mean, like Belinda Carlisle. I mean, she may have been a little wacko, but hey, most musicians are. But we're going to end it here. That's my list. That's my 5. And that's the order I feel that, and that's no disrespect. Actually, number 5, number 4, and number 3 from Tina Turner, New York Dolls, and Foo Fighters. That could go either way there. They're, but out of these 16, that's my top 5. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm sticking with that. But I am ashamed of the Rock and Roll Hall of Shame. Let me know what you think. Thanks for stopping by. Do something positive today for yourself and for somebody else, and let's try to make this world a better place. You know what's coming next. Stay awesome and rock on. Judas Priest. Come on, guys. Judas Priest. Why are they not in?